Hello.
Hello, hi.
Hi, sir. How are you, sir? I'm Venkat from Sesame Info.
Hi, Venkat.
Yes,
How are
sir.
you?
Fine, sir.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
how things are going on, sir?
All going well. Very challenging market.
Yes.
So much of ups and down,
Yes.
volatile market. So much of things which is unpredictable happening in the
Yes.
market.
Yes, sir. So, now shall we start the
Yes.
interview,
How is
sir?
things with you?
How things are going on,
Yeah,
sir?
yeah, no
On the
problem.
price front, it's too much is happening on the price front. Nobody is
Hmm.
sure where the prices are heading.
Hmm.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Understood. Understood.
Yes.
How?
Shall we start the interview, sir?
Yeah, yeah, no problem. Let's
Yes.
go ahead.
So brief about Hakan for DMCC and the preferred origin of sesame trade.
Okay, Hakan Foods DMCC is established in 2021. We are now close to 2 years,
Yes, sir.
but it's a continuation. You can say a continuation of a old legend in Sesame, which is Hakan Agro.
Yes, sir.
Apparently, since Mr. Hakan passed away in 2020, the company has divided into different parts and different units has come at different company. So myself and Hakan's family, we are relatively close. So we opened the Hakan Foods DMCC as a continuation of Hakan Agros oil seed and pulses. What we are
Okay.
focusing is the oil seed and pulses.
Okay. So which are your major destination for sesame trade?
Particularly if you are talking about sesame seed, our main destination is China, Turkey, then we do Japan, few countries in the Middle East, such as Saudi Arabia, Beirut, Jordan, Egypt.
Okay.
These are the destinations we are doing at the moment.
Okay. So now if you consider the prices are very challenging. I think week on week there is a spot in prices. Is the prices are going up because of the supply side shortage, or is there any increase in cost of cultivation itself? Just I want to know that.
As you can see, last few weeks,
Yes,
the prices were going up drastically
yes,
in all origins. Of course, if you talk about, there are few reasons. The first reason, the main reason is tightness in the supply.
yes.
Because you can see the supply is tight in all origins. Very rarely it happens. Maybe once in 5 years or 8 years, such things happens.
Okay.
When you talk about the West Africa, the main origins are Nigeria, Burkina Faso,
Okay,
and
now.
Chad. And Nigeria almost finished. Burkina almost finished. Chad is to an end. In couple of weeks' time, probably Chad also will finish
Okay. So what is
because
the
these.
shortage of Nigeria and Burkina? Is there any idea about
Uh,
that one?
I would say in Nigeria, looking at the current position, though there is no proper estimates, but estimates based on the uh, you know experience and all, I would say about 50%.
About 50%.
Yeah, because I think the total crop, normal crop, should be around 300 plus minus
Yes, yes.
300K in Nigeria.
Okay.
But I would say the crop this year will be anywhere near 150,000 tons.
Okay. That means a drastic problem in Nigeria for imports. Okay.
Yes.
What about
And
Burkina, sir?
Burkina also, I would assume the total crop will be under 150, which is supposed to be 200 plus.
Yes.
So 100, 150, probably maybe near to 150, but there also you can see a shortage. Chad, the expectation is around 110, 120. Probably Chad will come about 80 to 90,000 tons.
Okay.
So there is a crop shortage in overall West Africa. There is Conakry is, I mean, though it's a small crops like Senegal, Conakry. it's not a major impact, but they also
Okay.
having a short crop. So it's a scenario of whole West Africa. It's not related to one country. So it's the whole West Africa you can see short. And when you talk about, then you can ask what is the reason for shortage? So the
Yes.
main reason for shortage is last year, the soybean sesame prices, most of the farmers were not happy with the
Okay.
prices. So I can see a bumper crop of soybean instead of sesame. I can see a bumper crop of soybean in all of West Africa,
Okay. So soybean
especially
prices
Nigeria. Yeah,
depreciate. Okay.
yes, especially Nigeria. They have a huge consumption, local consumption of soybean. Normally, they
Okay.
don't export soybean. But this year, they are become one of the major exporters from West Africa, especially to India. So this is
Okay.
a real thing that, anyway, the cultivation areas have not increased. It's almost the same. So soybean is coming up so high and sesame is less. So it's understandable that, many farmers of sesame seed has gone into soybean because of better yield and better price.
Okay. I guess in India and Pakistan also there is a crop shortage when compared with last year.
Yes, India has a shortage. Pakistan harvest was very sorry. The sowing was very good. Cultivation was good. Areas were good, but late rain damaged a lot of cargo.
Yes.
And Pakistan has two problems. One is that, as such, their total quantity is less than the last year. And second, whatever they have it, the good quality
Okay.
is again less because uh, rain damaged the
Rain
crop.
damage to crop. Okay. Okay.
And when you talk about every origin, Ethiopia is short.
Ethiopia.
Sudan is also somewhat short. It may
Okay.
be 20% probably or 30% short, but Sudan is again short. So I can see that, I don't, normally when some country is short, other countries will come with good crop, but this year is like shortages everywhere.
Everywhere shortage is there. That's why we have seen a spike in prices. But see, for next 4 months, there is no new crop coming, except for India in the month of May, that too summer crop from Gujarat. Where do you see the prices going forward? Will these prices are sustainable? And whether it will have impact on the consuming countries' purchasing power because they buy mostly for their crushing, like Japan and this thing and all, China and all.
Japan's consumption pattern is more or less stable. It's not going
Okay.
to affect. When the prices were like $3,000 or when the prices were $800, their consumption pattern was more or less same. So
Okay.
I don't see any big difference in Japan or Korea. In China, when you talk about, it's also, as you see, because of the pandemic, they had, November, October, November period, and some portion of December uh, or October, November, many factories were closed, lockdowns were there and all. So they were not very keen in buying.
Okay.
Late December, they started buying. Now their stock levels, same time last year was probably somewhere nearing 300,000 tons. Now it's probably 200,000 tons. So their
Yes.
stock is less. Now they are going for holidays for next 20 25 days. This is
Yes.
the thing, the where the prices is going, it mainly depends on what Chinese planning to do when they come back from the holidays.
Yes. So
uh,
last year we have seen that one China in Q1 they bought around 400,000 tons, but in the subsequent 8 months their purchase was only about 630,000 tons. It has been drastically reduced. So we have to wait for this month Q1.
because it's all about, see, Chinese pattern overall the whole year imports will be close to 1 million tons.
Yes.
Probably it can be, low to 800,000 tons also, but
Yes.
800 to 1 million tons will be there. So it's like if they buy the first 3 to 4 months huge volume, you can see that another 6 to 8 months their volume will be less.
Okay.
So this is how it is because of the arrivals. Now what I'm assuming is Lot of cargo yet to arrive. Today, probably the stock in China is close to 200,000 tons.
Yes.
But I assume a lot of cargoes from West Africa yet to arrive. Probably next 1 month, those cargoes on the way can arrive. This can be a factor which can lead to at least further increase in the price. For example, if they are getting about 100,000 tons in another 1 month,
Okay.
then the crop will again go to 300,000 tons.
Yes.
So that time, probably then, they don't see, they will still buy the cargo because they know that there is a shortage, but there will not be a very aggressive buy. And if there is no sufficient, if they are getting only 40 or 50,000 tons in next 1 month, then there will be a bigger interest of buying is there. That time, maybe these prices can range anything between $2,200 to $2,500.
Okay.
So if sufficient cargo is there, then probably market will stop further going up. Still, I doubt there is any big chance of dropping.
Okay.
Because the next crop for China is Tanzania, which is
Yes,
in May.
Tanzania and Mozambique. That is it.
Mozambique comes probably in June. First crop
June.
is
Yes.
Tanzania. So what I would say is that prices remain strong for some time. Then maybe in April, April, May, it can go further up.
Okay. So considering the current uncertain scenario, globally higher food inflation, and then interest rates are on the higher side, I think there could be few more rate hikes. And there is already a lot of depreciation in currencies and all. Where do you see the Turkey market consumption going forward?
When you talk about Turkey, 2021, they have imported all ports, including the re-exports, around 220 to 230,000 tons. Yesterday, I was looking at the figures of 2022. Their import is just like about 160,000 tons.
Yes, it's a little bit lower, almost
Yeah, the
40% lower.
reason is two reason is one is their economy because of their currency fluctuations and all, and second thing is that the previous year they have imported more than what they wanted, so they had a
Okay.
carryover. But now when you talk about current year 2023, there is no carryover in Turkey,
Okay.
so very few stocks available. That is why the spot markets in Turkey is going up every day. And factories are looking at the cargoes, especially the Ramadan is going to come in second half of March. So
Okay.
at the moment, there is a shortage of products. So
Okay.
Turkey remains, but they don't have any cheap products to get it. So Turkey remain, firm for another 2-3 months.
Okay.
Then after that, Turkish pattern of consumption is from June till September. There is no much consumption. You don't find buyers.
Okay.
So those period, if any traders, if they find a better price, they take the positions, but factories are not buying that much.
Okay. So initial months they will buy the most
Yeah,
for their
so I
Ramzan
would
and other.
say that January, February will be remaining strong.
Okay.
Then by that time, most of the factories might have covered the goods. Then from March onwards, the local prices will start coming down because it has gone up more than the international level. So it has to do a corrections. Then the prices will set somewhere because, international prices will be also that time higher. When you will see prices are not increasing locally, but there is no demand
Yes.
or very less demand. This is going to happen from March.
Okay. So
Because many factories are now buying on the shipments for January and February. All these cargoes will be coming. So factories might have, many factories might have covered at least for a few months. So they will not be interested to increase the price, or they wanted to reduce the price locally.
okay.
And you will see a resellers also into the markets, because a lot of Syrians are nowadays playing in the Turkish market. So we will see the real sellers coming into the market. They can sell slightly cheaper than the origins. So see, there is, I mean, it's not a product that you can just every day keep going up, up, up. There is a limit of going up.
Okay, okay.
Once it reach, then natural phenomena, it has to come down.
Yes. And
So you can
currently,
see
yes.
there is a shortage. All the origins, there is a shortage.
Yes.
Destinations are not filled with plenty of cargoes.
Yes.
So all these are bullish. But at the same time, no products can just go up like anything at any levels. There is a limit for every level. And second thing is, sesame is not a sesame is not a you know a stable product. Without that, the people cannot live, because
Okay,
it's not an
okay.
edible oil. For example, if you talk about soybean oil, palm
It's
oil,
not an essential
sunflower oil,
commodity kind
it's
of
not an
thing.
essential commodity. It's like an
Yes.
added commodity.
Yes.
So people can easily reduce the consumption.
Yes.
Little bit of they can substitute or mix with some other products.
Yes.
Because as you see, the other oil prices versus last year versus this year, the oil prices are much lower now.
Yes. Even crude oil is likely to be lower when compared with last year. So most of the Middle East economies mostly depends on the crude oil price. Now, what was the Middle East overall consumption during 2022, and whether that will have an impact on the 2023 consumption? Because I feel the crude oil may not perform like what we have seen in the first half of last year. What's
I
your view
think
on
uh,
that?
I think Middle East, without excluding Turkey, probably is all Middle East about 120 to 150,000 tons is the normal consumption.
Yes,
This I would think the consumption will come down in this year, the mainly because of the high price of sesame seeds.
yes.
So some increase, probably 10 to 20% decrease will be there in the consumption. And when you talk about Turkey, also the consumption will come down
Yes.
this year. But since they don't have enough carryover, the prices immediately will not go down.
Okay.
Because naturally, when there is a short crop, people has to adjust with the supply.
Yes.
So how the supply will be, the demand will get adjusted to a short supply is reduction in the demand when the prices are going up,
When the
reduction in the
price is
demand.
going up, there will be a reduction.
Substituting
Yes.
oil consumption market will, like China, will probably do more peanut. Peanut prices are still
Peanut,
very
soybean.
much reasonable.
Yes.
So peanut oil prices will go up, and soybean oil,
Soybean.
sunflower oil.
So
These are the
a lot
oils.
of other options are there.
Yeah, this oil consumption will go that way, and non-oil consumption is not a essential use. So the people will start reducing the consumption, like tahini or hot pot in China. People will naturally, you will see a reduction in the consumption. So this will adjust. This lowering the demand will adjust with the lowered supply.
So what is your strategy for this year? Because considering the challenges everywhere, how are you going to tackle those things in procuring sesame from various origins?
I would say that till the Tanzania origin comes, procurement of sesame seed is almost over,
Okay.
because there's, except Sudan and
Okay.
Ethiopia,
Sudan and Ethiopia, yes.
there is no origin will have a cargo after 2 weeks.
Yes.
Only some people, the stockholders, will have it. They will wait for a few months to sell it. So
Okay.
there's nothing in the market.
So
There's
already it
no
is sold
procurement
out.
service established.
It has to come to the market, destination markets.
Yeah, and the pressure goes to Sudan, but Sudan is one step ahead. Before having the pressure, their prices has increased so extremely high. So nobody able to buy Sudanese.
I think current is around 1950, somewhere close to that one.
Where a different quality. The
Gadar
Gadaref is
is,
probably,
yes.
yeah, Gadaref quality is around 1900 to 1950,
Okay,
and non-Gadaref is probably around 1850 range. The
okay.
red Sudan is probably around 1700 plus. But
1700,
at those
1600.
levels, there is no buyer today.
Yes,
So I don't know, the buyer will be, there will be appetite on the buyer. So that, and also it could be if, Sudan kind of market is like, if there is no demand for a month, probably then, some people will get panic and they started selling off because,
yes. Actually, the
one of the
prices
reason in
may come
Sudan,
down.
always prices remain firm is that there is no proper currency in Sudan because
Yes,
they don't trust their currency. So the currency they are hedging when they have any remittance from abroad, immediately, they are converting the currency into a product.
yes.
So that is another reasons, why the products prices are firm. On the top, there is a rumor that overall shortage is there. China might come after the holidays. So all those rumors are leading. So when you, in nutshell, it's all about what China is going to do after the new year.
Okay, if I'm
If
not
all
wrong,
the
Sudan normally produces close to 450,000 tons, correct?
around 450, 500,000 tons. This year
450.
probably will be around 400 or 450, lower than 450.
Lower than that for that one. Okay.
Yeah.
So what about Ethiopia? Because normally Ethiopian farmers are complaining that we are giving a high quality product. So we want the prices to be around 1900,
Today,
50 like
now,
that.
today Ethiopian Humera is probably a better option than Gadaref. If somebody want to hold a stock, Ethiopian Humera is better in terms of pricing than Gadaref. Today, the FOB in Ethiopia is around 1750.
1750. That means
Yeah,
it's a good option.
yeah. There is no much offers available, but still there are some offers, but around
Okay.
1750 range. So you take over the freights and everything. Still, it's like less than, more than $100 lower than the Gadaref quality. But I would say that this will not sustain because when they say the other origins like nearby origin Sudan is so expensive, very soon Ethiopian price also will go up.
Okay. I think India may not be able to import red sesame also, considering the current price of
They have
1700.
already imported a lot of cargo, maybe probably about 20,000 tons, when the prices were below 1500.
Yes, that is a normal case, but they may not be scaled down to the previous hikes, like 100,000 tons in a year, like that.
No, no, no. I don't think they will come into, at the moment, India is already out of the market.
Yes, even they are not able to quote their price for Korean tender also.
Yeah.
Because it's fairly, because Indian domestic market is much higher than the Korean tender quotes and all.
Yes, because normally till this month, till end of mid of January to end of January is the Indian demand.
Yes,
After that, the demand will come down.
yes,
So we can see in India, the prices are too high. We would say a drop in prices in India
yes,
because of less demand locally. Because in India cannot export other than Korean tender or local
yes.
demand and the hull export. There are some business happening into Europe, but a lot of headaches are there. So
Okay.
Indian prices has to slightly drop. That is why they are not hurry in imports of red sesame and all. They
Yes,
don't want to import high price when they expect probably in February the prices can come down a little
yes.
bit, and also in May the summer crop can come. So that is why I think India won't be buying
Okay.
any
So
more imports.
what about European Union overall demand during this year? Considering there is a talk about that recession is imminent in most of the countries. and US may not be witnessing that much of growth what we have seen last year. It could be a meager growth when compared to previous year, last year, and most of the Europe will be in recession. Will that impact the demand going forward, especially in H1 of this year?
I think, because what I can see when you talk about US, probably because in the US, they see some, the hummus and tahina was growing every year. Probably this year we won't see a growth in the demand.
Okay,
They would be more or less stable like last year. It will be a stable demand market.
okay,
And Europe, when it comes to Europe, yes, they have severe problems of recession, Russian war on the Ukraine, and
yes,
all, or electricity problems and everything, fuel problems. I do expect some reduction in the consumption in Europe,
okay.
especially the energy fuel price has
The
gone up there
energy
because
problems
we are
still exist,
mm,
and Russia don't want to supply to the countries who has signed for a price cap on energy for
mm,
6 months from February onwards. So
that's
that
correct.
may
That's
have
correct.
an impact on the consumption
Mm.
side.
Yeah, this will affect the small factories
Yes,
especially.
yes,
So you can see a less productions in the market. This will result in a drop, in the local consumption.
overall,
Maybe
no.
rather,
Yes,
they buy ready products from Africa or India, because the one of the things they were doing it. I think they were two types of this thing. They were buying from India halt and roasting it, and also
okay,
non-roasted also they were using it. So this roasting and everything you need further processing. So this further processing may come down,
okay.
and also the recession is affecting the people, especially UK is having a terrible time.
Yes, UK, Germany. So
Yes.
everywhere some problems we are
Yeah.
seeing. So
This is
overall, the demand may
oh,
not be similar to what we have seen last year. In general, the demand could come down in most of
it's
the places.
for is for sure the demand will come down. That's almost
Yes,
sure. The demand will come down. Probably, overall, when you talk about maybe about 20% demand can come down.
okay,
So if the world trade is about 2 million tons, probably 20% we are talking about 400,000 tons demand will not be there. So the
yes,
demand will be 1.6 million tons.
yes.
So versus the supply is still tight
Supply is still
because
tight, even if there
still
is a
tight. Yeah,
reduction in
when you talk
demand.
about overall, the shortage is more than that. Still tight. That is why the prices will be more or less plus minus in the range of 2000, maybe can lower 1800, 1700, 1800 sometimes.
So the
Above
prices,
is
the possibility of prices coming down beyond a threshold limit is ruled out, at least for the time being.
yes, below 1800
For the next
on a
few months, it's
on
not
a product, at least for next 2 3 months or four
two, three,
months.
4 months. Yes,
Yeah, I don't see. But this will, because of the less demand, can help not going up the further, because if the demands also was good, then this price would have gone above 2500.
yes. So probably we are closing in on the peak side. Maybe the prices may top out sooner than later because almost most of the cargoes are sold and still they are supplying to the destinations. So there won't be much price hike beyond a certain limit.
Yeah, and one of the also a small factor, not a very big factor, when the prices are going up drastically, you can see a lot of defaults.
Yes.
Low price contracts are getting default. When you are getting default, the low price is getting defaulted, then what happened? The supply is again getting tight. uh, we don't know how much percentage that it's very difficult to say that who is going to default and who is not going to default.
Yes.
If the business is done with the multinational trading houses, chances of default is not there. But other than that, a lot of business is happening with the direct origins.
Okay.
So where, especially in Sudan, where people tend to default if $300 market going up. In Ethiopia also. So this will, if this default volume is big, then it again reduces the supply, because the same cargo now, the substitute means you need to substitute at higher price.
Yes. I think this year the only favorable factor is likely to be the freight cost. When compared with the past 2 years,
It
the
has come
freight
down.
rates are
Yes,
coming
it has
down.
come down. It has come down.
So
It has
that is
come
the
down.
only factor which is in your favor, remaining in
Yeah,
the,
correct,
not in our
correct.
favor.
Exactly.
Yes. Thank you so much, sir, for sharing your valuable inputs on the markets. Once
Thank you
the
so much,
transcript
Venkat.
is ready, I'll share with you. After getting your approval, it will be published in the next month magazines.
Okay, no problem. Thanks a lot. Thank you,
Yes, sir.
Mr.
Thank you
Venkat.
so much, sir.
Thank you
Bye,
so
sir.
much. Thank you.
Yes. Sir.